Welcome everyone to the Four Esoterics. No politics allowed. I'd like to remind everyone this podcast is being recorded. We follow Carlin's rules with one addition. Please be wearing pants. Let's welcome the Esoterics. He'll be on in a few minutes. Chris Buzzkirk, publisher of AM Greatness, and Ben Boychuk, the best editor from Big Bear to Santa Barbara. And let's not forget, of course, Lewis, Mr. Esoteric himself, Fine. And of course, the star, Kim Delaney, of one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know. I couldn't think. Oh, obviously, it's always Delta Force. And I want to welcome everybody to the show. And the topic today is, what is your home away from home? Before that, I'd like to remind everybody, please like us at the Four Esoterics. It's 4 ESOTERICS. You could also find us on iTunes there and on YouTube. And the topic, like I said, is Ben Boychuk's topic, which is home away from home. So Ben, why don't you get us started?
So the idea here has to do with community, and you know, it's been difficult in the past few months, to say almost, not to say impossible, to be able to enjoy the things that we've enjoyed and taken for granted before, which is being able to go out to eat, being able to go to a library, being able to have coffee at a Starbucks, if that's your thing. And so I think the last time we spoke, Judah, you had raised a point about I think the way you put it was, you can't be a regular anywhere anymore. Was that sort of what you said?
Yes, that was my
right. And I wanted to push back on that, because I think that you can be a regular. It's just a little bit more difficult than it used to be. And so I wanted to talk. This is why I brought this topic up. And it's based in part on a book. It's called The Great Good Place, by Ray Oldenburg. And it's really just all about hangouts that make a community. And so I thought it would be good to talk about those things, since the world is beginning to reopen a bit. We can go back out to eat in some places. It's different, but we can go and enjoy those places again. We can, Starbucks are open, but you can't sit down, but you can sit outside. And so I thought about how, for example, I do my job. I can do my job from an oil platform in the Gulf of Mexico if I wanted to. I could do it from anywhere. But
we thought that's where you were. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm as you may recall, I'm in the Arctic Circle, with the secret military base. But years ago, I was one of those laptop guys in the Starbucks who you never really understood what he was doing there or why he was there all day. And what I discovered, doing that over a period of years, was just how even a Starbucks could be a great gathering place. I would see homeschoolers, I would see church groups, I would see. Hold
on one second. We're getting feedback from somebody.
Yikes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it and even a place like Starbucks, where, the coffee is okay, not great, and it's kind of corporate, it still could serve as a place, for people to gather and enjoy friendships, cultivate relationships. And so I think now more than ever, we need something like that. And so it's a discussion worth having. And
what about you, Kim? And let's welcome, of course, Chris Buzzkirk, who's filming from Don LaPree's old house in Arizona.
I'm still renting him a room in the back.
He's if you did, it would be a coffin.
Strictly
sadly.
speaking, he's not paying the rent, and I'm having trouble evicting him. But at any rate, he's still here.
So if you just joined, we're discussing home away from homes. Kim's, what are some of your homes away from homes? Well, you have many.
I have a place on the Jersey Shore, so that's another home away from home.
But that's a home.
That's a home. That's a literal home.
Oh.
That's like a literal home. Yeah.
Well, I always say home is where the love is, so it could be anywhere.
I like how all the women just smiled and all the guys just had
Hey,
straight
Kim.
faces.
Yeah,
You know.
whatever.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Kim.
Here we
Yes.
go.
What, sweetheart?
Oh, by
Where's
the way,
Kim?
I forgot to just say this before Lewis speaks. Lewis doesn't speak for any of us. He has a mind of his own.
Retweets
And-
do not equal endorsements.
Yes, and if he decides to rickle you, it means he likes you even more. Just a heads up. Go ahead, Lewis.
Where's Kim?
She's there.
Can we put Kim on the screen?
No.
No, put your speaker. Okay, go on, Lewis.
You can't see me?
And now I can see you. Thank you for sheltering in place during this hurricane. And I did not know that the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders had an old timers day, but congrats to you. Congrats to you. And I hope you get your FEMA money. Go on.
Okay. So,
I just
oh
hope
my
I get
God. Oh my God. You are just go on, Kim. Tell us a few places. No, you have a lot of places that you do. You go to, you live in a marina. You like to.
I like to go down to, there's an Italian restaurant I go to when I want to do writing and just, have a coffee and do writing and, and everybody knows you around there. There's a couple of places there. Little restaurant, one across the street from each other. So that's another community. Although they're opening up again. So, but I do like going there a lot. And where else? I'm on planes. I love planes.
Well, you could travel for cheap right now.
Yeah, I know. But I don't want that.
You risk dying, but you could
I know.
travel cheaply.
I'm not going to do that yet. So I do. I enjoy traveling and the people I see traveling. And then I travel to girlfriends' places, So there's my homes away from home, I think.
What about you, Chris?
I've got a bunch of them, but I love this topic. This was when Ben suggested this last week. I thought this was a good one because it is actually really, in a way that's like that's like part of the informal element of society that makes life a little more, or actually like a lot more pleasant. The great places are like the sort of the places that everybody thinks of, and I do too, are like restaurants or bars or clubs or things like that, where it's like the Cheers thing, right, where everybody knows your name.
Right.
Mhm.
But there's a coffee place that I like near me that there's actually a couple of them that I sort of rotate through that we like to go. There's a restaurant my wife and I go to all the time where, God bless them. I mean, they have very little turnover in their staff, so we've known those people for a long time, and we go there a lot. But I'll tell you what, even someplace there's a market here, like a small grocery store that's like maybe 4 or 5 minutes from our house, and we've been going to that store for like close to 20 years. And there are people who've been working there from the day we first put a foot in that store, and they've seen my kids grow up, like from when my wife was pregnant to when they were babies to now they're the oldest in college, and that's I actually really have always appreciated that, and it's makes a neighborhood, it makes a community, which sounds super like, I don't know, like feminine maybe, but I don't think so. I think that's actually really important.
It's okay to be feminine today, Chris.
Without mentioning the name, Chris, should we make reference to American Greatness's Phoenix office?
We can mention the name. I don't care. Or are you suggesting we don't mention the name because they're not paying a sponsorship fee?
Well, no, that we don't know. We don't want the place to be overrun.
Oh, well, gosh.
You lost us. So if this is an inside joke, we don't do.
There's a
cigar place that Ben and I go when he comes over, when he goes over to see me. And this actually is like this is place was that their entire business isn't really cigars. Their entire business actually is being
somebody's
place.
sound is on.
Hold on one second. We've got to mute a few people's audio. And you know what? On that note, we'll get to Lewis when we get back, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. Producer girlfriend, why don't you tell us a little bit about your mom's amazing breadsticks?
Do you need a salty, cheesy, artisan treat during this pandemic or while you're tucked safely away at home? Go on down and get yourself some Colleen's Better Than Breadsticks. We're now sold in Manhattan, New Jersey, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Chicagoland area, parts of Napa. And if you're located in California, the closest place would be Santa Barbara Winery, a home away from home for my family that's from Chicago. Colleen's Better Than Breadsticks, a tasty, salty pandemic treat.
I like that. And let's welcome everybody back to the For Esoterics. They are amazing breadsticks. Producer girlfriend's mom makes some of the best breadsticks in America, in the world. And where today's topic is, we are talking about home away from home. And if you please decide to type in your home away from homes, type it in and we will get to you. Lewis, you haven't mentioned your home away from home.
I will in a moment. I want to talk about People's Exhibit 3B in Chris Buskirk's home, that rocking horse.
Would you like a ride? It's 25 cents.
No, I'd like the remains of the children so they can get a burial. They don't deserve to stay under the floorboards of that living room in that house that you broke and entered into.
Okay.
This is a recurring theme. Whenever Lewis thinks of children, he thinks of something horrible.
No, it's when I find
it's better than most people in Hollywood when they think of children, they think of other things. But Lewis, get back to it. What's your favorite place?
When are we getting the Corys on?
Yeah. Lewis, tell me a place you got. Lewis, please.
Yes. A place, my third place.
Do you hang out anywhere other than your home?
Yeah, Zoom. I find that it fosters community. It's good for meeting people. It's that third place where you're safe but face to face, unlike, say, Kim's Hurricane Shelter, which also was, as of last week, a Marc Jacobs store on Melrose, which was looted, vandalized, and for which she does not have insurance. Or Ben's cabin in the woods where no one can hear you scream, just like in space. Or Chris's, I'll put it in quotes, studio.
You're like our Blackwell. Anyways, Darcy brought up.
I only heard. What was the second part? I only heard the word black.
You are our Blackwell. And Darcy says, my home away from home is the bookstore, which gets back to it. Where do you guys find the bookstore? I haven't seen a bookstore in 5 years. The only bookstore I've seen is in is in Rancho Mirage, which is like 2 hours away from here. Where are you guys going to these bookstores?
If you go to Pasadena at Caltech, they have a lab. There's a time machine, so you get in it and you can go anywhere. So I go to the Crown Books in Washington D.C. So it puts me on the Metro first. I get off the Red Line, and then I just walk into Pentagon City, and I'm at Crown Books.
Or you could do the easier thing and go to Pasadena and go to Vroman's on Colorado Boulevard. You could do that too.
Which also owns Book Soup.
So obviously, right. So Caroline McCoo in Scotland says we still have bookstores everywhere.
And Haggis.
That's Caroline. I'm looking at you right now. You have bookstores all over. I can't remember the last time I've seen a bookstore. But I think Kim could agree, I know Kelly's visited Los Angeles a little bit. We don't have like local markets as much as I think the rest of middle America might have. We have huge supermarkets, so it's a little hard to get to know the people in your supermarkets, Ben. This was what I was trying to say to you, the other day, Ben. It's hard to be a regular when there are shifts that everybody's got a different shift.
Well, where are you shopping at? Like the TGI Fridays of supermarkets?
Yes, I am. Pavilions, baby.
Well, yeah. I was going to say that my one of my home away from homes, and I've got two, and I normally say it's the United Club at LAX because I travel so much and I know everyone there. But for me, it's what's always been important as I move around the country is to have a proper butcher. I want that one person I can go to who knows the cut of meat that I want, and I get it every single time I walk in there.
The grocer's name is Judah.
Hold on, producer girlfriend. Do you have an actual butcher?
I do.
Like a standalone butcher?
It's a small specialty grocery that's actually really more of a butcher that just also has grocery. And I go there to get specifically kosher meats and like certain cuts for people that I make food for here in Los Angeles. And when I go there, he knows me. He knows exactly the type of prime rib I want. I get a 4 rib. I get a 3 rib. He knows who I'm making one for. He knows who I'm making the other for. We talk about it. But he always has it for me.
How long did that take?
Well, it took about 2 years, and it started off with my parents who come into town that were food people. I mean, my mom has a breadstick company, right? So we go to those specialty stores since we are a specialty food brand. We look for those people like us because we want to foster that community. So when I found that butcher, it was with my parents, and then I just kept coming back. And to this day, he always asks me, how's your dad in Chicago?
Yeah.
So
Judy, you're a lucky man. What we know so far is that producer girlfriend likes salty treats and beef.
Yes, I am a very lucky man. And
We have a little market down this way that is very community. You know, they know my name, but I've only been here a couple years. But that happened very quickly because it's just a small little corner store.
Because they don't own TVs.
Is it what?
Because they don't own TVs.
it takes us all a second to get Lewis's jokes. It's like we're all in delay on when Lewis makes a joke. It's like, okay, I just got it. And really the whole point of this, by the way, is just to take ourselves an hour away from the real world, what's going on, because, you know, it's sometimes it's too much to look around what's going on, and you just need a break and talk about sometimes absolutely nothing. And at the beginning of the show, I was thinking before everybody else came on, Kim, I was thinking, like, if you put Ben, Lewis, Chris, and myself, we're like the guys that went to a Rush show and got the hot chick like you to come. Like that's what this the hot woman, I'm sorry to be politically correct, the hot woman to come to the Rush show with us.
Hold on. We look like collectively an adult Make-A-Wish foundation that Kim has decided to honor during this pandemic. There's no way she would otherwise be hanging out with us. We've convinced her we're all terminal. And how much did you pay? I must ask for that, and I'll put it in quotes, that art with the upside down flag signaling distress, Betty Boop.
Okay, just so you know, here's a good one. Here's a good one from Darcy. The used movie store would be my other home away from home.
The used?
I don't even know where that is. Yeah.
It's called a video store.
I haven't seen.
Give me the new tapes. I only want the new tapes.
Used video store. And John Douglas writes, I normally am a fly on the wall type. Oh, he actually brought up Magic Castle in Los Angeles.
I don't know what that is. What's Magic Castle?
It's a fire waiting to happen.
It's a magical castle that's an organization of magicians, and you need to know a magician to get in.
Right. They're incapable of pulling off the easiest trick, making an exit. The place is a fire trap.
It's one of those places everybody somehow gets an invitation to. It's like at the end, like the Playboy Mansion, everybody seems to get in. You know, not that I ever did get in. I did get in. Can I be an old friend of ours invited me one time, and I said no because my mother's listening. I didn't go, but I knew I wouldn't be able to handle the moment. Let's just say. So I declined the invitation. I cordially, and I'm not saying I didn't go because of my mother. I actually really did.
I had a friend that went every Sunday. And the rule was women could bring men. Excuse me, women could. I don't know if women could bring men, but men could bring women. So it was movie night, and they'd have a big dinner. And I don't know how she got on the list, but she got on the list. She went to the Midsummer Night's Dream Halloween party, and on Sunday she stopped going to movie night because she would just leave and roam the grounds, and I think feed the parrots and hang out at the grotto by herself. And what a waste!
I like watching Kelly crack up to you. It brings me.
Is that the one in
enjoyment
Scotland?
That Kelly from
Dying
Kelly's
to
from
go.
Nashville.
Also want to
And
see Vanderbilt.
can I tell you something? Like we were talking about last week, like seizing. I don't even remember. We were talking about after the show. We were doing this thing of seizing the moment. And Ben, this goes to what you were saying. I am dying to go to Nashville. Like Nashville is on my list of like places that I think I would feel really comfortable in. It seems like one of those cities where just there's a certain, I want to go to Nashville.
I would say it's my second Midwest home after Chicago because I'm there so much and I have so many good friends and it feels so at home there. Such a great town.
Dear Superintendent of Chicago Public Schools, Ray : Geography. Nashville is not in the Midwest.
It's Middle America. About 3 billion years ago.
Thank you, geography teacher Lewis Fine.
And by the way, I didn't go to Chicago Public Schools.
But this is big,
even worse.
But Ben, this goes to your question because Chris, his home away from home is something he loves to do. Like Kim is travel, and that's something this is taken away. Is this idea of just of travel? For me, I used to always joke, like I didn't take vacations. I would just hang out in my apartment. It was like I don't remember what the joke was because it wasn't that funny. But Chris,
yes.
Kim, places you miss going?
Nashville, New Orleans, New York, Philly, everywhere around here I can drive, which I'll probably start doing this week. Chicago. I love Chicago too. Just visit. It's
basically
Florida.
everywhere you've shopped.
And I have friends in all these different cities.
You miss going. What about Charleston? You miss Charleston too.
I miss Charleston too. Yes.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, New York was. I would go to New York 10 times a year until February, and who knows how long it will be before I go back? What would be the point to going back at this point?
Yeah.
I don't want to get COVID and I don't want to be burned to death for my wallet. So I won't probably rush back there. Not to mention most of the people that I know there are trying to stay out, who live in that area are trying to stay out of the city too. So, there's a lot of places. This is like the destruction of third places too. And I do miss seeing those people because there's a lot of people that I would see pretty regularly. Same goes for DC. I don't like DC as a city, but there are people there that I would see quite often that I won't be able to see for a while. So the travel thing's a big thing, especially when it's a big part of your life, because you do wind up having these third places that are away and people that you see regularly, and for the moment anyway, that's all gone. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out because I think a lot of people are going to leave these cities.
But I just want to bring up an interesting point that Lewis actually brought up, I think jokingly, but this Zoom thing is sort of a new sort of style of a community. It is sort of a home away from home for some people. And I think back in the days when people actually picked up a telephone and called people and spoke to them for an hour and a half on the phone, as opposed to like 6-line, texts, and I think hopefully this brings a new level of communication among people. I could be wrong.
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. The screen is a wall really, and I miss. The best interactions are in-person interaction. There's just no getting around it. You can't. This is fine as far as it goes, and it's fine, but it doesn't go far enough.
Human
Yes.
touch of like just touching a shoulder or looking in your eye, straight in your eye, and
that's right.
It's a human touch. We're missing one.
To quote Bruce Springsteen.
Of course, it's Bruce. I know that's
but Ben, here's the thing, and Chris too, we wouldn't have had this, we wouldn't have been able to build somewhat of a bond if not for Zoom, because we all live in different places. So there is a new form of getting to meet people. And John Douglas brings up Rick Springfield. Thank you. You missed Rick Springfield. I don't know. That's a shot from left field, John. Oh, Human Touch. That's Bruce Springsteen. Maybe Rick Springfield had a song called Human Touch too. Anyways, we are going to take a break. If you just tuned in, you're listening to the Four Esoterics and many guests today. Why don't you tell us, Ben, about your little favorite restaurant located in Big Bear?
Not Big Bear. It's actually near Lake Arrowhead. It's my third place. It's called Stone Creek Bistro. You can find them online at www.stonecreekbistro.com. And it's where I go at least once a week to enjoy an excellent steak or prime rib, or the fried chicken sandwich that took this mountain by storm over the past few months. Stone Creek Bistro in the mountains of San Bernardino, Blue Jay, California, near Lake Arrowhead. Come visit. Make reservations at 909-337-3663. Or again, go online, check out the menu, and find location and other information at www.stonecreekbistro.com.
And thank you for that. And welcome back, everybody listening to the Four Esoterics, plus our, of course, guestoteric, Kim Delaney, and everybody else joining in. You know, somebody brought up something also, because I find this to be a time, Ben, and we were discussing this, where I want to, I want to seize the day and start doing things that I used to think we were talking about this after the show last week. I want to start, going to concerts that I didn't, that I chose not to go to. I want to go to, somebody brought up Milwaukee Brewers. I would love to see the Brewers play. I don't know why, but there's something I think about Milwaukee, and I think there's a new chance as civilization that we could expand our places that.
Well, it's certainly the case that I'm not going to put off trips and shows and things the way I used to. And I think if we've learned nothing else from the past 3 months, it's take nothing for granted. Seize any opportunity you can to do the stuff you want to do, because that could change very, very quickly.
What about you, Kim? Your audio's off, by the way.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't help if you're talking while you're audio. It's okay. What about you? Chris? Tell us. Okay, Kim. What are a few things you want to try to do that you haven't done?
Shows. Just like Ben was saying, different shows. I'll be like, I don't.
Yeah, but hold on. That's you got to call your agent about that.
No, that's not what she means.
I have one question about the foster kid you returned. That painting, the upside down flag, the Betty Boop, the feces. How much did you get suckered into paying for that?
Okay, and
because I know,
just so you know, Kim has four brothers. There is nothing Lewis could say that would like I always say, Kim's family. Kim makes Silver Linings Playbook seem sort of average.
Attention, ICM and CAA. Kim wants to be on a show.
And she deserves to be on a show because she is one of the best actresses that has ever existed in Hollywood. And you know what? I want to switch the topic. Kristen actually bought your movie Closer.
Wait, did she buy it new or used?
Yes, she wanted the used.
Or was it pre-owned?
By the way, can I ask you a question? Whoever has bought a pre-owned thing on Amazon, like who goes to Amazon? Oh, okay.
I have two.
You bought a book
that's menstrual pads.
Okay, so she bought a book. Okay, Caroline too. So
okay, maybe you should rephrase the question, Judah. Who hasn't bought a pre-owned item?
Give me those pre-owned cloth diapers.
Yeah, I mean, but Kim, what was the movie, Kristen? It was called Closer and Closer, the one with you were in the wheelchair, and
Closer.
right, and she
it's called Wednesday.
And she asked if you make any money when somebody buys that movie.
I don't think so.
Oh, there you go, Kristen. Those money
just enough to buy some art.
And so here's, it's Ben. You really did bring. I get what your whole topic was, because you're a more social being than some of us are. Not all of us are social beings, and I guess I'm not one of those, that likes to be,
Oh,
like when you got your shelter-in-place order, you said this isn't going to change my life at all.
Pretty much. Shelter-in-place order was like
mountain in a cabin. Judah, can I just say something?
Yes.
Can I just say something, Judah?
We've apparently lost Lewis's audio, and he's having an epileptic. He's.
I told him not to put that strobe light up in the room.
Well, we can't hear you. We can't.
I think that's so amazing about
it. Okay, Lewis.
Oh my God.
Lewis, we're going to try something. Lewis, put your audio on for a second. Lewis.
Can you believe that?
Yes, I can totally believe it.
We just totally lost whatever.
This is absolutely crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Completely crazy. And we're going to turn it on in a few seconds, because I actually want to hear from Kelly, but and Caroline McCoo. I love that name. And John Douglas. I got to agree with you, Lewis. He's got the best.
The guy writes essays.
Yeah, he's got one of the best Hollywood pictures ever. But I want to hear. So you want to go to more shows, Kim? But you already go to a lot of shows.
No, but I mean like the Vegas shows. I always say I'm just going to fly up to Vegas and see like Lady Gaga or something, and I just do it. I just get lazy and I don't do it.
I have to go to Vegas with bodyguards, but
yeah.
If you would pay those markers off, you wouldn't have that problem, Judah.
Trust me, markerless. And but no, because I go the other day and I always see like signs for Peter Cetera playing, and I want to see Peter Cetera play. I want to see like the, not the Doobie Brothers. For some reason, I have no interest in seeing the Doobie Brothers perform at Morongo.
I hear they're not even related.
They used to call my brothers that. They called them the Doobie Brothers.
Your brothers were called the Doobie Brothers?
Yeah, probably like, no.
Yeah, no, I sort of I got the reference. Thank you.
Hold up a second. That's what that means? The next thing you're going to tell me is that when Peter, Paul, and Mary were singing Puff the Magic Dragon, it wasn't about a little boy and his magical dragon.
I thought it was.
Wow, we're learning a lot today.
Chris and Lewis asks, who did you guys see at the Greek Theater?
She was close. Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
Not the Doobie Brothers.
I could see a bit of no, I really can't.
I want to see Aldous Snow at the Greek.
Who?
The problem with the Greek is you can't get out because of the parking.
You see, I say the same thing about the Hollywood Bowl.
No, you gotta park at the Ford Theater.
You need a helicopter to get you in. Anyways, we are discussing Ben's favorite topic. So Ben, let's get back to this. I go to pavilions quite often, and especially now with the masks on, you really, in our state, you're forced to wear masks. And at the pavilions, I brought this up, because I walk around with a certain older age man there. I think a lot of people in West Hollywood assume I'm his kept man. And there's one checkout guy at the self-checkout.
You're definitely attractive enough.
What?
You're definitely attractive enough.
I thank you. I appreciate that. But I don't know. I mean, Starbucks, I don't see Starbucks as being that shop where you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Sure. No, here's what happens there. What happens is before the online ordering, there's one particular location where I don't live close to there anymore, so I don't go there anymore. But I was such a regular presence, and I know this was true of other people, that you would, when you had to just get in line before you could order online, by the time I would get up to the register, they would have my order ready for me because they knew. And there were enough, there was the staff there were there for quite some time, and there was a manager there who was there for several years. And so it's corporate coffee, but the people there, they get to know you a bit, and they get to know some of your likes and dislikes, and it's nice. It's not, it's nice.
I was trying to signal my daughter to come on, but she didn't want to.
I don't blame her.
I know. So what were we talking about? My third place?
And by the way, Louis, getting back to you, because a couple weeks ago you were a little serious. What are some places you like to go to?
Hotel Bel Air.
Minneapolis. and that's in the Midwest. People are very friendly, and
Minnesota, nice.
Yes, and there's this sense, inherent sense of safety.
God. Okay, Louis, but Louis, for real, where do you enjoy going? What do you
Hollywood Boulevard on a Sunday among 100,000 people protesting, which, by the way, does not spread COVID.
Okay, Louis, you are a
no. I where do I like to go? For years I used to do this. It was a Saturday ritual with my now wife. We would go into for retail therapy without buying anything. We'd go into certain stores on Rodeo. Book Soup was being was there for a reading, and the author who did the reading has since moved out here, and we've become friends. I used to be a huge fan. Now, in this respect, I was an innovator. I would go to Mozart, fortunately vandalized during the rebellion, and we would eat in the car. It was a stakeout. And I have one friend who was so adamantly opposed, disgusted even by the notion of eating in the car, where a mini cassette recorder, a notepad, and a pair of binoculars, I would have been set. And I got to see the two, but it's Hancock Park adjacent, so I got to see a disproportionate number of Orthodox Jews and a possum.
That's
a big day.
That was a big day for you, Louis.
I would love to read the diary entry.
Every Thursday.
By the way, just so everybody knows that's tuning in, this really is Louis. This is not an act. This is who he truly, in his God-given ability, is. We are going to take a quick break. If you just tuned in, you are listening to the Four Esoterics. We lost John Williams. We didn't mean to insult your Hollywood photo.
No, John Douglas.
John Douglas.
John Williams is working on the score to a movie.
By the way, and in a little esoterical fact, his son was in Toto. A lot of people don't know that.
I told you I was shocked to know that he had a son because I thought he enjoyed,
Kelly.
Kelly, are you flashing gang signals?
No.
In the next 30 seconds, Judah's going to tag his living room.
Yes, two and two.
And then why don't you get to work on Kim's art?
But getting back to it, so Ben, why don't you take us out for a 30-second break and tell us a little bit about
American Greatness, of course.
Yes, please.
If you're listening to this, you might be listening to it on Apple Podcasts or on YouTube or any number of places, but you also might be listening to this on American Greatness, www.amgreatness.com, where even though this is a break from politics, it's politics at American Greatness with great writers like Conrad Black, Victor Davis Hanson, Liz Sheld's Morning Greatness, 5 days a week. Columns by Selena Zito, Ned Ryan, Adam Mill,
Julie Kelly,
7 days,
Julie
Kelly, of course, and we're doing it 7 days a week. So come on and visit us. Spend some time reading us, and maybe you'll learn something. at www.amgreatness.com.
I think you thank you for that, and welcome back to the Forest Esoterics. And please also like for ESOTERICS. That's Forest Esoterics. That's on iTunes. You can find us. That's on YouTube. You can find us. And since Kelly's been so animated without speaking, I think we are going to go and open up the audio for everybody, including Caroline McCoo and anybody else that wants their audio lifted. Just raise your hand.
Before you do that, Kim's other third place, you mentioned what? Philly, Vegas, Nashville, Chicago, and the art gallery on Doheny.
Yeah, you are quite funny.
How much for the thing nobody wants?
So Kelly, you're in Nashville right now,
I am.
right?
And all of you are welcome, of course, anytime. It's a great city. Of course, we've had a little bit of the same situation on our Broadway, our honky tonks. Great place for music, any kind of music. So always welcome, Judith. If you want to come out, you come on out, and we'd love to have
Kelly?
you here. Yes.
Where are you exactly in your transition toward Woody Allen?
Hey, listen, I hadn't thought of it, but I'll work on it.
Are you taking the testosterone as prescribed?
Kelly,
I haven't thought of it, but I will keep working on it.
Kelly,
Okay, no, you're doing a good job.
Kelly,
You're at that Nora Ephron stage. You need to keep going.
Kelly, I want Kelly. He looks like.
I do want to say, going back to bookstores, I think I wrote it in here to you, is that we have an amazing little bookstore.
We lost your audio.
Oh, we lost your audio. I want to know what it's called.
I want to know what it's called too. Kelly, we lost
Just being
your audio.
very didactic at the risk of being pedantic.
Kelly, we lost your audio. If you can hear us, she obviously can.
I'm trying to tell her, Steve.
I lost it.
We
can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Good to hear you.
Okay, start over. Your favorite bookstore.
I wrote it in the chat. So it's here in Nashville. It's a great bookstore. Look it up. It'd be fun to have you. If you ever want to go to a bookstore, it's right in our downtown Nashville.
And Vanderbilt, I have a thing about college campuses. I'd love to see it.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
And you have a constitutional right to sue Anne Rice and Woody Allen for paternity.
You know what? That's very possible. Anne Rice happens to be one of my favorite authors growing up in New Orleans. Of course,
that's not a coincidence.
It is not a coincidence.
So
and to answer one of the home away from homes, I'm originally from New Orleans. And of course, Kim and I get to visit down in New Orleans when we get to travel. Hopefully we'll be able to do that again.
Yeah. She lost everything in Katrina. So that's been, everything.
And I do want to add one more thing, is that Kim and I have known each other since 1979, which at the time I was a Playboy bunny on 59th Street.
God bless you.
In New York City. That's where we met that year.
You can nothing else will ever matter that you do in your life. God bless you.
That is
That's great. I would stay with Kelly. I would stay with Kelly because I was going back and forth from Philly to New York on the train, and when I have an early go see for modeling, I'd stay with her, and because when we first met, she goes, "You don't have to go back," but my boyfriend whatever wanted me to come back, and I'd be sound asleep because I have to be up at 6 a.m, and she's coming in from the play, and I'd watch her hang her little bunny outfit on the hook. She had this one hook for the little bunny outfit with a little tail.
By the way, just to interrupt you, Lewis is Googling right now.
I'm not Googling anything. I'm not Googling anything. I'd like to find Kelly's photo. But
so go on. So
it was fun.
Do you know how amazing it was for men back then to just sexually harass someone like you? It was just acceptable. It was part of your job. Your job was to be in part sexually harassed.
I don't know where to go from that.
And to maintain a bottle of penicillin.
We can't hear her.
We can't, Kelly. We got to get your audio back
on.
Audio.
Yeah.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
It was just part of the times, How
long did you do it for?
For about a year. I did it before I moved to Milan. So I worked at the Playboy Club on 59th and 5th for over almost a year until I moved to Europe.
What did you
Kim
do in
and I
Milan?
were friends. We were modeling. That's how I met Kim. I met her at the agency we were at together. So
that's how Lewis and I met.
Yeah, and Kelly
we met at the LA modeling agency.
Yes, and Kim still, not Kim, excuse me. Kelly still models for L'Exotica, obviously.
No. No.
What's the prescription on those, by the way?
I love,
Legally
by the way, just so you know,
They're
Kelly.
actually, these are readers, so I can see you guys. My regular
readers.
Yeah, they're
Why don't you,
readers.
may I make a suggestion?
No.
Audiobooks.
By the way, Kelly, I love your glasses. And
Thank
you too,
you.
Caroline. If you want to get in the conversation, I'd love to hear your Scottish.
I've got a question for Kelly. Where was the Playboy Club? Was it at? It was
You
near
just
the.
said
What
it.
building was it in?
It was well, I don't know what the building is now. It was changed to something.
So it was 59th and what?
It was the
59th
whole
and
Playboy
Fifth.
thing.
In
Yeah,
Fifth? So was it on the
in New
east
York.
side?
On the east side, yeah.
On the east side of Fifth?
59th. Yeah, on the east side of Fifth, on 59th.
So basically, we're like the Apple store is there now.
Oh, is it? I don't know what
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I wonder
yeah.
if the building it was in is still there.
It was a pretty cool club. We had 3 levels, and the disco was on 1 level, so we wore silver lame bunny suits, and we did disco. We served disco drinks during the dancing and disco.
The celebrities you must have seen during the 70s. My God.
It was
No, I
amazing.
mean, it's pretty awesome. Have you ever just thought about writing about this?
Yeah, I have written a few things about it. It's just putting it into. I don't
You're
know.
gonna.
Okay,
You're gonna
might I
have-
suggest you, Kelly? And I'm being
Was the
serious
president
when I
ever
say
there?
I might have to call Woody Allen though. My
No, you're gonna have to dictate this with your eyesight. Don't try typing.
Kelly,
Get
I
an
want to
assistant.
tell you
Still
something. If you
typing.
look at the square above you, I think you'll see the guy named Ben.
Yeah, I
And,
see Ben. Hi, Ben.
He is the best editor in America. And
Well, I'll tell you, if anything, Kim Delaney's got a book. That's the one
no,
I
Kim
would.
Delaney doesn't have a book. Kim Delaney has a saga.
She has
has a
art.
And I can't wait to have that out on film. I can't wait to have something. I think Ben and even myself could work on getting that, in print and something filmed soon, right
Do
away.
us a favor. Call out the German Shepherd in your bedroom. We want to meet him or her.
I have no, I don't. I don't have a German
So
Shepherd.
you just do it all with a cane.
I have no idea.
I
Thank God you're laughing.
glasses on, but I won't be able to
I thank
see
God
you
Kelly has a
guys.
sense of
So
humor. I thank God Kelly has a
I didn't
sense
know
of
Mr.
humor.
Magoo had a niece.
I think Caroline is scared to death to join the conversation. Phil, my wife has a book, Wish You Were Here, a rock fantasy by Joyce Isaacson. I don't Isaacson, but
Well, because we're talking about books. We're
maybe
talking
that's
about
his wife. And
Yeah,
he
this is
also
what-
brought up that he met 3 Doobie Brothers in 2015. I don't think any of the Doobie Brothers, I don't think there are any of the original Doobies anymore. They've been doobied out. But
Is that true?
Yeah.
Have they all been replaced?
Taking it to the streets.
how many of them could be still around? I mean, they were Doobie Brothers. I mean, when was the last time you met a functioning 75-year-old pothead that could get on stage and still sing?
Tommy Chong, Whole Foods.
He wrote, my wife has a book, Wish You Were Here, a rock fantasy. Oh, it had to do when you were talking about concerts. Okay, I got you, Phil. Phil, we're not, yeah, it's, Kelly, so you're in Nashville. I want to go to Kid Rock's bar. Don't laugh at me. But what are some of the great venues out there?
She's unmuted again.
She's unmuted again.
Can
Okay.
you hear me?
But now she's
Kim
What
and
are
I
some-
went to Kid Rock's place in November last year. You remember, Kim?
Priya's Oprah rant.
But Blake Shelton's got a fun bar. They're all honky tonk bars, 3-4 levels. But the Ryman, I would have to say, is top of my list. To go to that old church and see someone perform there, amazing.
We should do that next time.
Okay, you
Yeah,
see,
The
here's
Opry is
thing.
pretty cool too. I've done a couple
Yes.
events, the Ryman and the Opry and the Schumerhorn I'm at every fall. But also check out the Bluebird Cafe.
Oh yes.
I want those spicy wings.
Oh yeah.
But
No,
you-
Nashville, the super spicy wings.
Oh yeah,
Oh, hot chicken, Hattie B's.
Hot chicken.
No, you go to Prince's. Prince's is the
Prince's.
best. Oh my God, the best hot
good.
chicken.
Yeah, hot chicken. Hot chicken.
That, and I want to see Vandy, the Vanderbilt campus.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It really is. But we have beautiful. Belmont's a beautiful school, and producers, music industry is there. I mean, Music Row is a great. It's changing, of course, with all the construction. But
wait,
beautiful.
somebody just typed in your name is Kelly Pickler.
No, but Kelly Pickler has a studio.
Somebody read, Lewis.
No, that was
I think Kelly needs to lend you her glasses.
Yeah, well,
Somebody said I saw
obviously
Kelly
contagious.
Pickler perform at the Grand Ole Opry. It was amazing. And I guess Kelly Pickler is a big country artist.
Former
Yes.
American Idol contestant.
I'm not sure.
That doesn't count.
And if you just tuned in, you are listening to the four esoterics plus our guest esoteric and an extra guest esoteric, which is Kelly Hendricks, and of course Caroline McCoo, who's chosen a vow of silence wherever she is located in the world.
Oh, no, she might want to talk. She just said. Yeah, she's ready to talk.
You could have your audio turned on.
You have to
You have
unmute.
we will, before the shows, we're going to start giving tutorials. Welcome, Caroline. Where are you from, Caroline?
I'm from Scotland.
Oh, that's awesome.
What
Talk
part?
for-
What
Well,
part?
Talk for 15
It's dark
seconds.
and cold.
Sorry?
It's very dark and cold here today.
That's the best. What else?
What's the best thing about Scotland?
Who's your favorite Scottish band? Is it the Proclaimers?
No. I like Imagine Dragons, so that's not Scottish.
Oh God! Can we turn Caroline's audio off now? Imagine Dragons. Oh my God! The worst band Vegas has brought to you since Wayne Newton. And if you just tuned in, you're listening to the Four Esoterics. I'm kidding around. I don't.
Oh, it's Big Country.
What?
My favorite Scottish band, Big Country.
Oh, Big Country. They had that great song.
They had two great songs.
And then he died of a massive alcoholism. Very sad. Very sad.
Is that true?
What?
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get to see them on the senior tour?
No, it's like you'll see Big
a shame.
Country with a new lead singer. That's actually another good question to ask. Would you go to a band with a different lead singer? Because I can't go see Journey with this other guy and not Steve Perry. It just feels wrong.
I saw Quiet Riot a couple of years ago at the Whiskey.
But everybody's
With a
dead in
different singer.
Quiet Riot.
No. Well, yes, the original lead singer is long gone.
No, but yes.
But it was still a good show.
Found dead and swollen in his Vegas apartment like a week after he died.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
wow.
pretty messed up. But it was a good show, and you know the connection. You know, you touched on it earlier. The connection is there's always one member, you know, and so the current touring lineup is the bass player who played in the early '80s, and so it was a good show.
Did you sing to Come On Feel the Noise? Girls Rock Your Boys.
Everybody.
We'll get wild, wild, wild.
Yeah.
And if you just tuned in, like I said, you are listening to the Four Esoterics with, many squares joining us today, including Kristen Fowler, her father, Phil, who's a huge fan of yours, Kim. He
Thank you, guys.
I can't tell if that's Phil. I keep on getting.
Father's name isn't Phil.
Oh, well,
And who was it? Go back to the lady on the couch.
yes,
What's her name? We'll bring her back.
Caroline.
Caroline, you there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Be scared, Caroline.
You stay in touch with Christopher Lambert?
From what?
Islander. It's his
Islander.
Highlander reference.
Oh, okay. No.
And again, if you just tuned in, like I said, you are listening to the Four Esoterics. We're going to go to a quick break before we wrap it up. Why don't you tell us about Colleen's breadsticks one more time, producer girlfriend?
They're cheesy, they're salty, they're crunchy, they're delicious. They're the crack of carbs. Colleen's better than breadsticks. Go and get them.
And if you just, by the way, Kim, it's Bernard is Kristen's father, and he is a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thanks to Bernard. Thank
But
you.
who's not, Kelly? Right? Who's not a huge fan of Kim's? And your audio again is on.
You're unmuted again.
You're.
Here.
I don't think those glasses are working. I'm gonna have to side with Lewis on this one. Your glasses seem to be a tad off.
Yeah, it's time for a helper monkey.
And and to wrap it up, Chris, tell me one thing you want to do that you haven't done.
Everything.
I want to come and see you in LA.
Good answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Ben.
Yeah, we should have a For Esoterics live in-person summit and see if Lewis can be contained or will let us get in any word edgewise.
No, that would be great.
We'll broadcast from the Playboy Club at 59th and 5th.
By the way, that's an incredible story. I actually want to do the next episode.
Oh my God, we had the funniest stories.
I want to hear that because Chris, Ben, let's be honest, how much fun would it be to hear about New York in the 70s from these two?
Like early 80s.
Fantastic.
I mean, that would be, and Julie Kelly would for sure want to join in because Julie Kelly is all about the 80s. And I think, there is something very special about that time.
The chances that Kelly served a club soda with a lime to the president of the United States in 1979 is better than 50%.
That's actually a great point. Did you ever serve? Yeah, that's actually a great point.
I mean, where the Playboy Club is now is like what, 4.5 blocks from where Trump Tower is. It wasn't there in '79, but it's like right up the street. That was like where he was his haunt, and then he would go to Studio 54, which is not that far either.
And Kristen also wrote, I want that show in New York City in the 70s. And it's so funny because there's like you guys, I mean, I was, I'm a little younger, just a little bit. So New York for me in the 70s, I was 4.
Well, this is more early 80s. It's like 79 into the early 80s.
Yes.
Yeah. Into
79,
the early
80, 81.
81, 82, 83, those years.
I mean, but just Chris. I mean, you guys aren't fans but Kim has an addiction to a certain band, a certain singer, Bruce Springsteen. I think she's probably been to over 400 shows.
What?
And she has. I mean, this is the city. She actually met. Where were you? You were on the street in New York, and you bumped into her.
Mm-hmm.
And and so I really think that's going to be the next show. And Ben, I know you have to run.
Yeah.
We are going to do a quick after show. So Kelly, don't leave. Chris, if you have to run. Lewis is always running. And I want to remind everybody this is all being recorded. And Kristen, you could ask questions for your father to Kim. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the For Esoterics. It's a great in a room minus Lewis. He could still zoom in. And since the thought it could be a tad scary. And please like us. Caroline, are you on Twitter? You are on Twitter. How come you didn't like us? I find that very rude. I did.
I tweeted you earlier on today.
You tweeted, but you didn't like. You didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
begged for follows. Okay, I need 26 followers by the end of the day.
Right now.
Okay. Okay. I want to get up to 26 followers. Okay.
When this is all over, I'm going to help Kelly cross the street.
I'm so sorry.
Thank God you have a great sense of humor. And I hope to everybody we took your mind off what's going on in the world for but an hour with the most. You know what? Can I say something? I actually learned something really cool today. We're all fascinated by the fact that you were a bunny. You know what I mean? Like that's something.
I'm fascinated. I just watched. I was so impressed. You come home and
I mean, that's just one of the most fascinating.
I'll send pictures next time.
Yeah, well, you don't need to send. You just show us the pictures.
Okay. Well, okay.
But how is she going to know it's the picture? She can't see.
Oh my God! I'm so
sorry. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for listening to the For Esoterics. But please stay around for a couple seconds because I'm sure Kelly wants to, Caroline, I'm sure wants to ask Kim a few questions. And Kelly, stay. Chris, if you need to leave, I understand, but I love I love the home. And
I'm going to stay for a minute, but then I got to run.
And then you got to run. So I want to thank everybody for listening to the Four Esoterics, and especially we always have to thank producer girlfriend for making this all together, because as Louis Fine says, if not for producer girlfriend, we'd be speaking into soda cans.
I was gonna say,
I want to
thanks,
thank
producer
you.
girlfriend.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Kelly,
you
just
all.
Kelly, we're